Praise the Lord and welcome to Sunday Morning Christian Education. My name is Teraie Deloach. I attend Greater Bethlehem Temple Apostolic Church located on 4781 Hamilton Avenue in Cincinnati, Ohio, where Bishop James Chapman is the pastor. Today's lesson is titled Obedient to Remember. The lesson text comes from Exodus chapter 12 verses 1 through 14. The golden text reads, "This day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever." And that's Exodus chapter 12, verses 14. In today's lesson, I will speak on the annual Passover feast observed by the children of Israel. It is a memorial which is an annual reminder of their deliverance from the bondage of Egypt. First, let's talk about how it came about. God sent Moses and Aaron to Pharaoh to demand to let the Israelites go from slavery and bondage. Pharaoh refused, and his heart was hardened. So God had 10 plagues to occur in order to convince him. God intended to let Pharaoh and the Egyptians know he was the only true God. First, he turned water to blood. There wasn't any drinking water. The fish died and it was stinky. Then, Egypt was infested with frogs. Everywhere you looked, it was frogs. In the houses, in their beds, the ovens, all over the people. Third, lights or gnats was the next plague. They were all upon the men, the animals. They couldn't escape them. Everywhere they went, that's where they were. Fourth, it was a swarm of flies. Oh my goodness. You know how pesky flies can be. They were everywhere, like the gnats were. The fifth one was a pestilence of the livestock. The cattle, the goats, the donkeys, sheep, any animal in the field, they were all dying. The sixth one was boils. It came upon all the men and the beasts. Now, boils can be very, very painful. It can be like a little pimple, but much, much advanced and more intense. And they can be anywhere part of your body. The seventh one was thunderstorms of hail and fire. People were killed because of the size of the hail. They were huge ball size of hail, of ice. The eighth one was locusts. They covered the grounds, the trees, the houses. There were so many locusts that the land was darkened. They blocked the sun. Some of us couldn't handle the cicadas that was here, so I know you couldn't handle the locusts. They were much different, and it was worse. The ninth one was thick darkness for 3 days. They couldn't even see one another, and not a trace of light was anywhere, and the people were afraid. All these plagues happened, and Pharaoh still refused. None of the plagues affected the Israelites, only Pharaoh and the Egyptians. But this 10th plague was a doozy. God said about midnight he will go into the midst of Egypt, and all the firstborn of animals and man would die. That was including the Israelites. This plague would affect both the Egyptians and the Israelites. But God provided a way of escape for the Israelites. But they had to be obedient and follow instructions. because it was a time of deliverance and freedom. So here's where the lesson begins. So God told Moses and Aaron, this month shall be the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. God told Moses and Aaron to speak to the congregation of Israel and tell them, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. God gave them specific instructions for the lamb, how and when to pick the lamb, how to prepare the lamb, how much to eat, and what to do with the leftovers. In the lesson it says, your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. And ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. He said, they shall take the blood and strike it on the two side posts and of the upper door posts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in the night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, or sodden at all with water. That means boiling. But roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the purtenance thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remain of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. And ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you. And the plague shall not be unto you to destroy you, when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. God commanded the Israelites to repeat the Passover as an memorial celebration, because future generations will be reminded of how God had miraculously acted to redeem their ancestors. The Passover is still being celebrated by the Jews. It usually falls in March or April on the 15th of the month, which is the Hebrews month of Nisan, and continues for 8 days. According to Google, during the Passover, Jews take part in the Seder meal. And this is a meal that consists of rituals, liturgy, and food meant to represent parts of the Exodus story, where the people of Israel was led from slavery in Egypt to freedom and to the promised land. God is still rescuing people from bondage of sin. You have to be obedient to Him and His ways. He'll give you freedom. Nobody else will. I hope I have put something on your mind. Until next time, God bless.